All right. So I don't know if you guys heard. Apparently, there's a Batman game in the works. This is the second time I've actually heard about it. There was a time where there was a little bit of a rumor, and eventually, it came to light that, it was just a rumor and whatnot. But it seems like the rumor is starting to gain, a little bit of feather to fly. Nick retweeted a tweet by Jeff Keighley's Game Award Twitter account. Then that's where you kind of look and say, okay, what's going on here? Because Jeff Keighley posted this stuff on the 22nd where he says, name your dream game developer for the next Batman game. So is there a next Batman game that we haven't heard of? That's not the one that's coming out on the MetaQuest 3? Perhaps there is. Perhaps that's probably what he's teasing. Probably they've already put him on, the talking to go ahead and tease it. And then Nick said, not sure which studio, people's dream is, but I heard Rocksteady are back making it. So was there a Batman concept that was being bounced around the studios? Remember like how we saw that Warner Brothers Montreal was supposed to be making a Suicide Squad game, but then that got scrapped so that they could make Gotham Knights. And then Suicide Squad was basically selected by Rocksteady. Is that what's going on in this ecosystem? We don't know. And then Nick said, I also think Sony are trying to money hat it. Did Nick find out that Sony is trying to get a deal, or is he thinking, or is he reporting that there's a rumor that Sony is trying to money hat it? So all of the information is quite vague at the end of the day. And to me, I mean, as much as I hate the whole money hatting thing that PlayStation does, I'm kind of, in a sense, much more certain that any deal that Warner Brothers would do with them is going to be more like, say, a little bit of extra content, but not necessarily the entire game. That IP and that franchise is just way too valuable to keep, even though the games that come from it are not, so far that have come from it, have not necessarily received mass appeal. You will harm the brand significantly. This ain't no Spider-Man that you guys are doing over here. Because none of those games have Spider-Man 2018 type sales. So Warner Brothers may not do it, because if you even look at their other, relationships as well, like say Hogwarts Legacy, they did the exclusive store thing or whatever it is, exclusive shop or whatever it is. And then with even Rocksteady back in the day with Arkham Knights, they did some extra benefits like skins or whatever it is. So that's not even the big, issue here for me. The big issue here is, do we even have any confidence that Rocksteady's creatives right now can make and write a game that does not disrespect the fans or disrespect the hero that the fans are coming there to play? Look at how they treated Batman in Rocksteady's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They literally let Harley Quinn shoot Batman in the head, which pretty much killed any momentum the game was going to have. I think that game had the opportunity for fans to say, all right, we can vibe with this to this point. But once they shot Batman in the head, it was basically almost the same reaction as when Joel got clubbed in the face. Now, PlayStation fans still went ahead and played The Last of Us Part 2 because somehow, they're super dedicated. But most, Batman fans said, screw that crap, because Batman is bigger than Joel. Batman is stronger than Joel. Batman is better than Joel. As much as we like Joel, he ain't no Bruce Wayne. So when you shoot Bruce Wayne in the face, you better make sure that you have something to back it up. So I think this might be a way to probably maybe stitch up the Band-Aid and quickly try to refactor stuff that's been a body of work for so many years to try to recapture an audience that they've already lost. And it's not difficult to do. They can pump out a game in a good amount of time if they get some really solid developers and add some outsourcing to it. I mean, Warner Brothers Montreal took basically a copy and a branch of Arkham City, and they made Arkham Origins out of it. Now, I don't know if this team will be able to pull that off. I mean, I think they can, because from a mechanics perspective, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is solid, like really solid. The question now is not necessarily developing the game. The question is writing and actually making an intriguing title that is not a switcheroo of some kind. Because again, another thing people might be looking at and saying is, are we going to get like, those huge MJ moments in our game now where, Batman doesn't become the Batman hero of the game? People are going to be asking those questions. And so not being able to trust developers these days with any IP is now also a secondary problem that's being caused by creatives who preferred, to preach to their audiences rather than actually make good games. So they're going to struggle, man. This is not going to be an easy front. What's even crazy is every ounce of trust that would have come from, say, maybe even potentially, the audience to say the studio, which something like that relied on Stephen Hill and Jamie Walker in the first place. Batman fans are dialed in as heck. They are tuned in most cases. Now, some were kind of weird, or maybe they were just outsiders that didn't know what was going on, because I've seen a lot of them say, oh, Gotham Knights is Rocksteady. Rocksteady is guilty of I said, Rocksteady didn't touch Gotham Knights. But, those are not fans. Those are just outsiders that just want to, throw shade. That's all it is. They'll usually expose themselves. They don't know what they're talking about. But for those Batman fans that we've known and we've been following, this game, Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad from both studios, it's not going to be an easy thing to try to convince them that you have something for them until they actually see the product. If it's good, we're going to play it. Don't get me wrong. If it's good, you're going to eat. Y'all are going to make money. You're going to secure your jobs, man. Like, it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to be a problem at all. So the question is, if this is actually a thing, we're all just sitting and waiting and saying, all right, no need to tease anything, because all this teasing and, leaked by this guy, and, this guy saw something cool over there. Man, we did that years ago. So now it's time for you to actually bring substance forward rather than try to do this weird, oh, yeah, we're trying to tease this. Nah. And that's just my take on the matter. I mean, look at Marvel Spider-Man Part 2. That game is at, in my opinion anyways, is going to not hit close to half of the sales that the other game, did, until it maybe comes to PC. And even then, people are already aware of how they basically sidelined Peter Parker and pushed MJ forward, because for some reason, there were people within the studio who thought they were going to continue making a journalist go fight against Kraven's men that literally fight lions and tigers for sport. And they gave her a Zappery gun. I mean, you got to understand that right now we don't really have, fans making a lot of these games. They don't have the respect, and, the fandom is not there in the creative process. It's just the reality, and you can already see it. You can already kind of, feel it. You can taste it, that a lot of the creative decisions are quite clueless. And what's shocking is a lot of the fans just, they're in a very weird position. They're just looking and going, what the heck is going on? So put all this in perspective, and you'll see that the news generated literally no buzz at all. If they literally showed you a teaser right now, no one's going to be like, oh, this is exciting. No, they're just going to be like, last time we saw Batman, they shot him in the face. And that's what you get when you actually go and subvert expectations. You got to remember that your art is designed to feed you. It's not designed to make you feel good. It's not designed to make you proclaim that you're better than anybody else. Y'all hearing that, creatives? Are y'all listening? You better listen. Remember, we're your bosses. I mean, it sounds like I want to lord it over anybody, but it's just the reality. So, you got to do what's going to make your boss actually bring money out of their pockets. And if you don't, well, I guess we'll see how that flies and how that goes about. Thanks for watching. Peace out.